All right, let's just jump right in. The technology we use every single day is, well, it's incredible. But it also comes with these hidden dangers. Some of them are physical. You can actually see and touch them, while others are totally invisible. So today, we're going to look at both sides of that coin, starting with the risks that are right there in the room with you. And let me start by asking you a question, and I mean this literally. That device you're looking at right now, the one plugged into the wall with all its cables, could it actually be a fire hazard? It's a pretty startling thought, right? But the answer, well, it's potentially yes. And this picture, well, it says it all, doesn't it? This is one of the most common physical risks out there. I think we've all seen a power outlet that looks something like this. It's so easy to just ignore it, but overloading sockets or just letting our gadgets get way too hot, those are real, actual fire hazards sitting right there in our homes. So yeah, let's start there, with the dangers that are literally in the room with us. These are the physical threats our technology can create if we're not being careful. What's kind of wild is how simple these risks and their solutions really are. We all know you shouldn't put your drink next to your laptop, but hey, it happens. The trick is just making it a habit. Keep liquids away and check to make sure your cables aren't frayed or damaged. And that mess of wires under your desk, that's not just ugly, it's a classic trip hazard. A couple of cheap cable ties could literally save you from a nasty fall. Okay, so we've sorted out our physical space. Now let's shift gears. We're moving from protecting our actual bodies from trips and shocks to protecting our digital selves. We're talking about guarding our personal information. So first things first, what are we even protecting? Well, personal data is kind of the basic stuff. Think of it as any little piece of information that can point directly back to you as an individual, like your name, your address, even your date of birth. It's the kind of info we hand out all the time, sometimes without even thinking twice. But then you have sensitive data, and this is on a whole other level. The really important difference here is the potential for serious, personal harm if this stuff gets out. We're not just talking about identifying you anymore. We're talking about the most private parts of your life. And this does a great job of showing the difference. So on the left, you've got your standard personal data. But now look over on the right. Your medical history, what you believe politically, your ethnic background, even your fingerprints or a scan of your face, that is sensitive data. If that information leaks, it could be used against you for discrimination, blackmail, all sorts of awful things. Now, the good news is there are actually laws designed to protect this stuff. The Data Protection Act is super important because it puts the responsibility right where it belongs, on the companies handling your data. A key rule is that they have to be upfront about why they're collecting it, and they can only use it for that specific reason. So they can't ask for your address to ship a package and then secretly add you to a bunch of marketing lists. Not without your permission anyway. All right, so now that we know what we need to protect, it's time to meet the bad guys of our story. See, to stay safe online, you have to understand the threats you're actually up against. It's time to know your enemy. The big picture term for most of this is hacking. And really, at its heart, it's just digital breaking and entering. A hacker is basically a burglar looking for an unlocked digital door or window so they can sneak in, steal your valuable information, or, just cause a bunch of chaos. And hackers use all sorts of nasty software, or malware, to do their jobs. You can think of this as a kind of most wanted list. A virus is built to spread like wildfire and just break things, like deleting your files. A Trojan is way sneakier. It pretends to be a normal, useful program, but it's secretly hiding malicious code inside. And spyware? Man, spyware is the creepiest one. It just sits there, quietly watching everything you do, even recording what you type to steal your passwords. And then you've got this whole family of attacks that are all about deception. Phishing. That's when they use fake emails that look totally real to try and trick you. Smishing is the exact same idea, but it shows up as a text message on your phone. And farming is maybe the most clever. It can hijack a real website's address and send you to a fake one that looks exactly the same. But they all want the same thing, to fool you into giving them your passwords or your credit card numbers. Okay, enough about the bad guys. Let's shift the tone here, from talking about threats to talking about how to protect yourself. It is time to fight back. Let's talk about the tools you can use to build your very own digital armor. I want you to think of this as your personal security toolkit. Let's run through the essentials. A firewall. That's like a digital bouncer for your network, deciding who gets in and who gets kicked out. Anti-malware software is your computer's immune system, constantly on the hunt for viruses and spyware. SSL is that little lock icon you see in your browser. It just means your connection is private and secure. And of course, the basics. strong passwords, encryption to scramble your data, and biometrics, like your fingerprint, which is a key only you have. So let's take a closer look at biometrics for a second. Your fingerprint or Face ID. The good things are obvious. It's totally unique to you. You can't forget it like a password, and it's super hard to fake or steal. But it's not perfect. The scans can fail. Have you ever tried to unlock your phone with wet hands? It doesn't work. And for some people, the whole idea of a company storing their fingerprint just feels a little intrusive. So what's one of the most powerful shields you have in your toolkit? It's encryption. The easiest way to picture it is like this. It takes your normal readable data and turns it into a secret code. So even if a hacker manages to steal a file, all they have is a bunch of gibberish. Without the special key to unscramble it, that stolen data is completely useless to them. But here's the thing. You can have all the best digital armor in the world, but it won't do you much good if you don't use it smartly. At the end of the day, the strongest defense is you. So this last part is all about moving beyond the tools and talking about the smart, safe habits that really keep you protected online. And that's what we call e-safety. It's not a piece of software you can install. It's a mindset. It's about consciously knowing how to get around the internet, your email, and social media in a way that protects you and others from all the threats we've just been talking about. And here are 3 simple, practical things you can do on social media, like today. 1, go find your privacy settings and actually use them. Lock things down. Don't just stick with the defaults. 2, be picky about who you accept friend requests from. And 3, be super careful about what you post. Before you share a picture, just ask yourself, could somebody use this to figure out where I live or where I work? And finally, being safe online also means playing by the rules, things like copyright. Illegally downloading software or movies isn't just about cheating the people who made it. Those pirated files are one of the most common ways that malware, like those sneaky Trojans we mentioned, actually gets onto your computer in the first place. So respecting copyright is a huge part of keeping the internet and your own stuff safe. Wow, okay, we have covered a lot, from trip hazards to Trojans, from your privacy settings to your personal data. So I want to leave you with this one last question to think about. After everything we've gone over, what is the one real thing you're going to change, starting today, to be safer in this physical and digital world?